All right, we are back, and we're going to be covering Halloween Havoc first.
Okay.
So let's talk about the goods, and there were a few goods. Overall, the show was there. I just think there were some more questionable choices than anything, but the positives. Zarya, making her essentially somewhat in-ring debut, attacking people. She looks like a killer.
Yeah.
She's very unique in her appearance. People responded to her really well. And overall, I am just so satisfied with how they're doing Zarya so far. I just thought that her laying out all Fatal Influence members was a good idea because Zarya, once again, is just that very unique looking girl. It's very interesting to see where they go from this point, with hindsight being 2020. Ridge Holland, I want to talk about Ridge. He has improved so much since returning to NXT. It has been he has a very different aura about him. He's wrestling very well. He had a fun match with Andre Chase. I like the Halloween aspect of it because it's Halloween Havoc.
Tables, ladders, and scares.
Yes, tables, ladders, and scares. We'll talk about that later. But I was just so impressed with Ridge Holland. His promos are getting a lot better. His in-ring work is getting a lot crisper. He doesn't look as reckless in deer in headlights.
Right.
It very much is a different Ridge Holland. And I wanted to point that out because people are like, oh my God, he's going to injure Trick Williams or whatever. Right. Give it a chance.
Give him a chance.
So far, so good. It's been freak accidents. They just are pissed off because of E.
Yeah.
That was a freak accident.
Right.
This match was very good. I'm kind of torn about this. At one point, yes, it was a good match, but the NXT Women's Champion, where do we go direction-wise? I don't like them just sort of having this little carrot there. So once again, positive, negative. At the very least, what I saw was good. That's all I can say about it, And this match was good. I really liked this match, but blood. When you use blood in maybe a circumstance like this, it adds effect to it. It adds emotion. And with the promo going into it being very charged, in your face, very much that way, I expected more of that emotion. But we just didn't have it. We just didn't get it.
Right.
Once again, but I will say that I am satisfied with the outcome of this, and also the match itself was good.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy.
Yep.
Very unique. Now we got to go into some negatives. I'm not saying the match was negative. And once again, blood would have been nice, but whatever. If this is Femi's last appearance in NXT, I think it's a disservice. He should have gotten at least an opportunity for the NXT champion. This is the guy.
Okay, it's a double-edged sword with that one, though.
I know
he doesn't need it.
Yeah, but at the same time, he is the face of NIL. He is the most successful of the NIL recruits so far. This guy took to wrestling like a duck takes to water. He has everything. And I think him and Trick could have torn the house down with something. It just was a wasted opportunity. Nothing wrong against Tony D'Angelo. I think Femi really took this North American champion into a totally different level, into a totally new era. But it just sort of went over like a wet fart in church. I think of somebody who was so prominent within NXT deserved maybe a little bit more as it relates to a send-off. Once again, this is only an assumption based off of rumors.
Yeah.
So I'm just not sure. The Women's North American Champion match. There was nothing necessarily wrong with the action itself, so I can't fault them for that. But the gauntlet stipulation was strange. The order of people was strange. And why was Fallon Henley the one that was given the crown?
I don't know.
And that's sort of where I'm coming from. This was announced backstage where they had the opportunity to spin the wheel. But before they made the decision, that's when Zarya made her debut. It was such a weird hodgepodge. Why did they do this in the back? I'm like, oh, it's a gauntlet match? If I was Jazmyn Nixon, Jacy, Jayne, I would be fucking pissed.
Right.
It was just kind of a strange juxtaposition.
Yeah, it was.
I think
this rivalry is kind of strange too.
It is. I think they just wanted to do that Big Ten woman. I'm not sure if there's a stipulation with it. If you heard anything, I haven't. But it was just kind of an odd situation. But once again, they try to make chicken salad out of chicken shit, and it got there, but you can still smell a little bit of that shit.
Yeah.
The Bully Ray stuff, or Bubba Ray Dudley, rather. Once again, I watched this right after I watched Forged in Excellence, and Bully Ray wrestled twice there. So don't fault me for using Bully Ray and Bubba Ray Dudley interchangeably. I'm talking about fucking Mark, okay?
Right.
That's his name. So the one thing that I did not like about this is that I feel like the stuff with Bubba Ray Dudley overshadowed the main event.
I think so too.
And I think that's sort of why the match...
It didn't feel like the end of a pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It just didn't feel like that big grandiose ending that I, kind of wanted in there, Not necessarily, and I'm not sure if you would consider that a negative or not, but, at the same time, I think the younger stars should have been the focal point, and this sort of kind of butted in there, So that's sort of where I'm coming at. Anyway, that is it for my good and bad for Halloween Havoc. Let us know what you thought about it in the comments. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about Crown Jewel.
Yes.